What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's Josh. I am super excited for today's episode because I am going to talk today about how yesterday we made $75,000 on one deal. And while it's super cool to make $75,000, I thought it would be even more cool if I could share with you the 5 ways that I maximize the profit in that deal so that I can help you make more money on your wholesale real estate deals as well. We are in Phoenix, Arizona, one of the hottest markets, one of the most competitive markets for wholesale real estate. And even in this market, we average over $20,000 profit per deal on our wholesale deals. Let's get into it. I call this my 5-step gross profit process. And it starts with number 1, qualify sellers correctly. Number 2, build value for the sellers. Number 3, you gotta desk the deal, you gotta desk yourself. Step 4 is you gotta close the deal. And step number 5 is cash buyer hacks. Now, if you don't stay till the end of this video, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. But if you do stay till the end of this video, it's gonna help you get more wholesale deals and average a higher profit per deal. So we're gonna jump into these steps now in depth. And I'm gonna show you clips from a recent live deal that we just closed to help illustrate the points as we go along. Also, if at any point you're saying this video is great, make sure to smash that like button below. Now, step number 1 is you gotta qualify the seller lead. What does it mean to qualify them? Well, you need to make sure that they're a real seller, number 1, and then number 2, find out could they possibly be a wholesale seller, meaning they'll sell below retail value, enough below that you can turn to a cash buyer and quickly make money on this deal. And as you're qualifying the seller, you want to be feeling them out for personality, understanding what they want, understanding what their motivations are in the deal, what they're looking to achieve. And this is going to help you be able to close the deal and get a solid commitment from them and also make more money in doing so. So let's dive into this next clip where this is the first interaction I have with the seller and I'm qualifying her. And listen to how the call goes as I find out the information about her situation, maybe kind of what she's feeling on price. And also, what's the one main thing that might motivate her to do a wholesale transaction?
All craft models, Avenue and Thunderbird area.
Okay, yeah, I'm just sitting down here. Actually, it's great timing. We just sold one of our rental properties.
There's no one living there now.
How much are you looking to walk away with for the house?
I really don't know. I'm hoping that I can walk away with about 200.
Did you need to do anything else before you sold it, or other than just kind of working out those dates and stuff like that? If the price is right, are you ready to move forward today?
Well, sure, I think so.
As far as the price, as far as walking away at 200, so obviously there would be no fees and it'd be as is and that kind of a thing. It'd be super simple. Are you flexible at all on the 200? Off the bat, that might sound a little high probably for, an as is offer.
Well, it just depends on what you're talking about later on. Whatever you're talking about, we'll see. I mean, I can deal with a few thousand less, but, I don't want to give it away, but then again, I don't want to go in and I don't want to take care of renting it. Mm-hmm. I don't want that issue in my life.
Yeah. Let me tell you, this is a huge secret, guys. It's never about the money. It's all about what the seller wants out of the situation. So if you can figure that out and solve that problem, the better you are at solving that problem, the more money you're going to make per deal in wholesale real estate. And that really leads me into step number 2. So it's building value for them. You need to build value in what you're giving them in terms of convenience, no fees, no hassle. Find out what's motivating them and make sure that you're really highlighting that value that you're creating for them. You also want to build value in the offer amount and what you're paying for the house. They should always feel like they're getting the win, whether you're making $5,000 or $150,000. So now here in step 2, because we properly qualified them in step 1, we know what's important to them and we can come back to those points to build value. So watch how I do that. And the things I say as we're going through this, we're still in that first contact with the seller on this call, but we're gonna go back to the clip and I want you to now listen for the things that I'm saying to build value before we're even getting to actually making the offer. Now, we build value by letting them know that the timing is perfect, that we're buying right now, that we know this area. This way, they're not just feeling like they're just selling it to whoever, 1-800 We Buy Houses, but they're feeling like they're really potentially getting the best offer possible, and that's making that offer as valuable as possible to them. And also, we're demonstrating credibility by asking the right questions. Now, we asked the right questions in step number 1 by qualifying them, and that demonstrated to them that, hey, this is a serious buyer. Like, they're actually asking me things that, you know, a buyer would really need to know, and this is serious. We're also going to demonstrate credibility later when we're asking questions about the house. So listen to the questions I asked when we get into the house, and you really want the seller getting off the phone thinking,
wow, I hadn't even really thought about some of that stuff about the house, but gosh, now I really want to sell it wholesale. I don't want to go through all that stuff.
And you also want them thinking, that was easy. That was an easy conversation. That was an easy phone call. I'm excited for this person to come over to my house. I'm excited to potentially do business with this person. I feel comfortable with them. That's so key. So when you build value correctly, that's the result, and that's what they're going to want to do, is do business with you. It's great timing. Timing-wise, it's almost perfect for me. I'm just looking on Google right now. I know this area super well, but I just got pulled up the satellite, like the street view. Yeah, I know this area well. One thing we could do too is we could close on whatever date you wanted. So we could close, you know, after a day after that or a week after that, whatever, doesn't matter. But one thing we could do too is, and I can put this in the contract, that whatever you want to leave behind, you can. I'm totally good with that.
I think I love you. I think I love you. I think I love you. The windows are original.
Oh, they are? Okay. And then do you by chance know how old that roof is? It looks like it's in great shape. Do you know by chance the air conditioner, roughly how old it is? What kind of flooring does it have on the inside? Is it tile, carpet, both? Tile and carpet? Okay. And is it like real newer, modern big tile, or is it the like 12 by 12 classic style?
Thick carpeting. Old, thick carpeting. It's in great shape. I mean, she is good. It's
just dated.
Old.
Love it. No, that's funny. That's cool. I always appreciate that when I come across that. And then the kitchen and bathrooms, are those mostly original finishes, or have those been updated recently?
They're original.
Okay.
It's a pretty good sized house with a split bedroom, you know.
Okay, let me take a look at this. Like I said, the timing's actually really good for me, and we can definitely make this easy for you. We can make it really simple from that standpoint. Credibility is a great way to build value, and so the more experience you get and the more that you study this craft, which you can do by liking this video so that YouTube shows you more of my videos, and if it showed you a couple of my videos, probably want to consider subscribing by now. Anyways, the more you know and the more experience you have, the more credible you're going to be and the more value you're going to build for the seller. You're going to get paid profit based on how much value you bring to the marketplace. Step number 3 is to desk yourself. Now, I was in the car business before the last 12 years where I've been in real estate, but I was in the car business for 3.5 years, and here's what I learned. There's a process to closing a deal. Both getting a commitment from somebody and making sure that when you close the deal, you make as much profit as possible. And so there's a process called desking the deal. Now, this is where you look at the comparables and the values one way until you get that commitment from the person that you're working with, in this case, the seller. And then after you get the deal, you look at it another way to see how much you can maximize your profit for. This also works because if you have a seller that needs to negotiate and go down on price a lot, you look at it one way, you get all the information you need to make that low offer as credible as possible and build as much value into that as possible. And when they say, no way, I'm here, you've set yourself up in a way that you can go back and look at it again and see, is there possibly a deal here, or is this person like over retail? Let's see what they're selling for. So now I'm going to go, I want to look at all statuses. I like to put stuff in ascending order when I'm underwriting it. Now when we sell it, we put it in descending order. When we're selling it, we want to show the highest ones first, but when we're underwriting it to buy it, we want to get as cheap as possible. We want to look at the lowest ones first. In this case, the lowest comp is 265. And it's smaller. It does have a pool, so without a pool, it probably would have sold for 245. And it sold really quick. See what their marks say. 3-bedroom plus a nice backyard with pool. Multiple offers received. They gave a discounted commission and it flew. All right, so let's look at this one. This one's pending. UCB means basically pending, but the agent is accepting backup offers. This one's 270. It looks like it's got solar on it. It doesn't look like anything too fancy. Yeah, this house isn't nothing special. Ours is probably at least as nice as this. This one's quick at 272. Look how it went pending in 7 days. And it's a discounted commission too. This one at 280. Oh my gosh. And this only has a 1-car garage. Our subject has a 2-car garage. And this one's a little smaller than ours. Same bedroom, bath count. Semi-remodeled. Like kind of a Home Depot cheap
ready for a first-time home buyer. It does have a pool, so if you take the pool out, that would have sold for $260. But if you add another car garage, that would probably push it back up to $270, $275. Again, it's not really remodeled. Let's take a look at what our ARV is. So what I'm doing right now is I'm looking at the as-is value. So I know right away, I'm like, this thing at 200, I'm way lower than the as-is value, right? The as-is value is going to be somewhere between probably 265 and 300 is what I'm seeing right now, based on what I was just looking at with you guys, okay? Now, and I've never looked at this. This is the first time I've ever underwritten this property. I look down here, ARV, I see one sold for 385, and yeah, it's only about, 100 square feet bigger or less? So I know right away I've got a huge play for an ARV. Let's take a look at this one. And this is probably a gorgeous remodel. It is. And it does have a pool, but it's literally almost double the price of what we're getting the other one. So this has got a huge spread. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call it right now. I know 200 is a good deal. If I can get it for 195, great. If I got to pay 200, great. What I care about right now is getting the signature. I pull it up. First pencil, wholesale, 265. This new one? 200. So first pencil wholesale is 265. I bet wholesales. Where's it at? Probably over an average size deal there. Alright, so we are going to make the call. Lock in this deal. Wait, I'm going to switch cameras because I need to talk on my phone, which is what you see me on right now.
Now, what's awesome about this deal is I never even had to run a second pencil. I knew from the qualification call right up front, her asking price, that when I was able to look at a first pencil, hey, this is a home run deal. So had she came back and said, you know what, Josh, no, I need 250, 260, 230, whatever it was, something more than what she was saying, I would have had to look at that and say, well, is that under what I think I can wholesale this property for? And if it's not, if it's over what I thought I could wholesale this property for based on my first pencil, now I got to look closer, and I can't just look at the lowest comps. Now I'd have to look at the other comps as well. But what was awesome, this one, that never even came into play. When this happens, typically it means that you are sitting on maximum gross profit, which is the whole point of why we're doing wholesale real estate, right? And why we're trying to do deals and make money for ourselves and for our family. But at this point, we're going to get into making the offer next in step number 4. So right now, we want all of the ammunition possible at our fingertips so that when we get into those negotiations, if we have to negotiate on price, I don't know that we're going to have to too much on this one, it's a really hot deal, but typically when you will have to negotiate a little bit, you want to have been able to look at the lowest comp so that that's your ammunition. And then after they fight for their position as to why you should pay more, then you can go back and take that second pencil look and say, you know what, can I get up to what they need and still make a deal? Or where do I need to kind of be? Do I need to sit tight where I was? Can I come up a little bit, try to get them to come down a little bit more? What is it? Again, since this one was so hot, we were able to get right into step number 4 here, not worry about a second pencil, and go for the close. We're going to be constantly touching on those hot buttons that we discovered in the first few steps as we asked them the right questions and found out what their motivation is. We're going to keep pressing on those hot buttons to get the signature and ultimately get the deal. Step number 4 is you got to close the deal. Now, how you did the steps we talked about before, qualifying the seller, building value, desking yourself, and part of those processes is going to be the offer, right? That's part of desking yourself. How you do those things is going to help you line up the close. If the person says, I want to think about it at the very end, and you didn't tell them anything before about any type of situation that you're looking to buy a house right now, it's going to be really hard for you to bring up at the end, well, hey, I need to make a decision now. You're going to come across as a sleazy car salesman that's saying, hey, buy the car today or the car's going to be gone. Show the Badger commercial here.
So we ready to make a deal?
When we like it, we just have to take some time to think about it, get back to you tomorrow.
Since you say I probably won't be here tomorrow, I got another couple interested in it.
We're going to take our chances.
They won't be here.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
They'll be gone.
We're just going to wait, okay?
You better buy it tonight before I sell it right from under you.
I love that commercial, but if you set it up properly from the beginning, that's going to work amazing. You want to build value and you want to compress time. You want to get the seller to a state of mind that they can make a decision that's going to benefit them and give you a commitment to sell.
All that matters right now is getting the signature. I asked her if she was flexible. She said only a few thousand, so I know that already kind of helps me out. I know how I can go in and close without making her feel beat up because I feel like I've got a pretty good idea of kind of what she's thinking. And these are the hot ones, right? A situation, timing, gotta love it. So let's call her and get this locked up.
These are obviously the best type of leads. These are the leads everybody wants. I'm gonna see if she wants to meet me right now and sign it.
Hello?
Hi, Linda.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Josh. How are you? So I took a look at that, and I think we could probably get real close or be there. Do you have an email address? I could send you a contract that way, or I could meet you at your place or at the house.
Well, would you like to look at the house?
That would definitely help, yeah. So, and if you're ready to go at 200, I think all I need to do is walk it, and within 10 minutes of being there, I can say yay or nay. But we're so close. Even if there was as long as there's nothing major, like I said, in this position, it might be a couple bucks more than I'd love to pay. But because of my situation, this is a great location for me. So I think if that's where it's got to be, I might be able to make that work.
I can meet you there whenever. Like I said, I'm only 15 minutes from there, so.
Okay, my contract is super simple. I can go over the paperwork with you, but I've got it so it's super simple. So it's basically, here's the as-is price. You're not paying any fees. We're paying all the closing costs. Like I said, we'll write in there as far as what date you want to close, and we'll put in there that the anything that you want to leave behind, just stays with the property, and that's fine because it's as is. So I can get that ready, and then would it work if we met at, say, 3 o'clock today at the property?
Yeah, I can do that. I'm not in the mood to just give it away, but on the other hand, I'm not in the mood to deal with a lot of it either.
No, I completely understand that. Like I said, in a perfect world, I'd probably like to be around 185, 190, but because of the location, the circumstances, and the way the home's been cared for, from what I can see, and from talking to you, I think in the long run that's going to be good. So yeah, I'll bring it with me, and yeah, I'm super easy to deal with. If I can get to the 200, which I think I can, like I said, I'm not over a couple bucks going to walk away from it. I just want to make sure everything's good, and then yeah, it'll be really simple.
Okay, well, we'll take a look and see what we can figure out then at 3. How's that?
Perfect. Appreciate it, Linda. Look forward to meeting you in person, and I'll be there at 3.
Thank you, Josh.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cool. So we'll officially get the contract. Kind of felt her out for an email. She kind of was like, well, don't you want to see the house? And sometimes you could just be like, no, I'm confident, especially if you're virtual wholesaling or whatever. In this case, I'm just going to go log it down and get pictures and the contract all in one. That's how I'd prefer to do it anyway, and we can get this thing sold tomorrow morning. So we will take you to the property here. We've got a couple hours, and we'll head that way. This is a really good lead. This one came in today. She's super hot. She knows someone. Again, I cannot reiterate this enough. Nothing is more important than getting the signature. Don't worry about anything that you're going to do after you get the signature until you get the signature. That is, assuming you're at a decent number that you can hopefully wholesale the property. Now, at this property, we were actually at the property. I had closed the seller, and I went out to get the contract so I could bring it in and get it signed. And that's an important one. Always get the verbal commitment before you look at the contract and deal with any little nuances. Make sure that they are verbally committed that, yes, I'm ready to sign right now at this price. Then you can bring out the contract. So I go out to the car, I bring back the contract, and the camera person turns on the camera, and I'm like, wait, no, turn that off. We got to get the contract first. So never take any pictures, videos, anything that could possibly create an objection with the seller until after you get the contract inked. All right, so we're leaving the house. I'm really excited about this one. So I just got the information to qualify them. Got the information about the house. I immediately knew it was a home run deal, so we set the appointment to come in person. A lot of times I'll try to get it over the phone, but when I have a situation like that and all signs are pointing that the seller's ready to go, I don't want to create an objection with them that they're like, wait a minute, this person hasn't seen the house. What if this, what if that, what if whatever. Whereas if you meet them in person, you can make them feel so good, and you can see it's a nice neighborhood here, but you can make them feel so good in person. So I showed up, and sure enough, her husband was there, and I overheard them as we were going through the house there. When we got there, she said to him something about, are you comfortable? And he said, yeah, I feel much better now. And that was, I overheard that, and I thought, wow, that's a win. That means we did the right thing when we showed up here. And step number 5, guys, is what I call cash buyer hacks.
hacks. I could do a whole other video on this, so if you'd like me to do that, put that in the comments below, or you can check out my channel, and I do talk about cash buyer hacks in tons of my videos and show case studies of myself applying cash buyer hacks on other deals in those live case studies. The cash buyer hacks is having the right list, and you can go to the website, I'll leave it in the comments right now, to get the cash buyer list for your market. It's an overnight game changer. By doing that, structuring your email properly, knowing how to talk to the buyers, you're going to maximize profit on the deal.
Pictures are the most important thing when it comes to cash buyer hacks. You got to get great pictures. So make sure that you get all the angles. You want to get transition shots. Let it flow from room to room. The idea is to sell the property without the buyers having to do a walkthrough. That you can just send out an email blast and get it sold like that. So we're going to get into that here in a minute, and I'm going to show you the email blast that I put together. And you'll be able to see how quickly we got this property sold. This one is going to be a home run.
And I'm really excited now that we've got the contract to underwrite this again. On first pencil, I've got this one pegged at a $30,000 deal. A lot of times from first pencil to second pencil, that deal might actually, a deal that was, you know, if I slotted it at 30,000 on my first pencil, this meant that's kind of a worst case scenario. Now that we've got the deal, I'm going to sell it for as much as we can get away with. And realistically, now that I've seen the house, I'll re-underwrite it. I wouldn't be surprised if the amount we can wholesale it for, you know, maybe goes up. So we'll see. So we locked this one up at 200. This business is seriously life-changing, and I love it. And now we'll get into the disposition and get this thing blasted out. Hopefully tomorrow morning or Wednesday. We've got a little bit of time. We're closing December 23rd, so we're closing in roughly 3 weeks, which gives us a lot of time to do whatever we want to do. I mean, I could get this thing blasted out and sold today without a doubt if I needed to, but we've got a little time. We could potentially put it on the MLS, see if we get a since it's retail ready, see if we get a cash buyer where we can still assign the contract, but we can get like higher than a wholesale buyer would pay. Or if we got a really high offer and they were financing, we could just say, well, now we've already got it sold, let's just close on it and wait for the buyer's financing to come in if we make more. Or we could just do a good old-fashioned assignment. We've got lots of options. The best deals always have the most options, but it's still key to run the numbers, understand how much energy it takes, you know, to do a wholesale versus a wholesale versus a full-on fix and flip, etc. And so that it's congruent with your business and with your life and with your goals and your lifestyle.
All right, so we got this property ready to blast, and I was so excited when I got back from seeing the property and re-looked at the comps and did my second pencil. Now, sometimes you have to do second pencil up front, like we talked about, because you make that low offer, you try to justify it with the low comps, you look at it, etc., and they say, no, we need X, Y, Z, and you go back and look at the comps and you say, well, can I pay a little bit more? Well, in this case, I didn't have to look at the comps again until after I had went and got pictures and saw the neighborhood and saw what we were dealing with. So knowing the current market, knowing what amazing condition this property is in, and knowing how hot it would go on my buyer's list, I ended up pricing this even higher than I thought. And so we're at $274,000 on that, and I've got my comps down here to support that. I've got my screenshot, I've got lots of pictures, links, and bullet points, so you guys can pause the screencast if you guys want to check that stuff out. And I am so excited to blast this one out. Let's go.
This is Josh. Hey, Josh, what's going on? Now we sent out another one without telling me first. I think I'm good to go on that one. I'm gonna take it, okay?
All right, brother.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Maybe less than 5 minutes.
So there we have it, guys. Step 1, we qualify the seller. Step 2, we build value and credibility. Step 3, we desk ourselves and we create an amazing offer. Step 4, we close that deal. Step 5, we use cash buyer hacks to maximize the price we actually sell it for to a cash buyers and get paid.